The second proposed amendment is to shorten the frame of application by changing Article 15 subsection A of the Federal Constitution to lower the citizenship registration age limit from 21 years to 18 years old. According to the former president of the Malaysian Bar, Karen Charlie, it was highlighted that it could take years to process citizenship application. It usually takes up to 5 years or even more to process citizenship application.
To begin with, the first proposed amendment aimed to remove the permanent resident clause from Section 1A of the second schedule, potentially leaving children born to Malaysian permanent residents without automatic citizenship at the risk of statelessness. This change would unequally affect indigenous communities such as the Orang Asli and Orang Asam. This is highlighted and reported by Ida Lim, according to the Malaysian Citizenship Right Alliance.
According to Zendico and Medic 80 Kuwait, in Sabah, thousands of abandoned stateless Badalau children tragically fall into the severe substance abuse, resulting to sniffing plastic glue to mitigate hunger.
Rahman and other authors actually stated that they find that the stateless children's education right in Malaysia's public education system are actually not prevalent. Although the Malaysian government had started to include the undocumented children's access to the public education system through the Zero Reject policy in 2019, the endeavours are yet to include the majority groups of stateless children living in Malaysia.
Citizenship is the relationship between an individual and the state, to which the individual owns allegiance and is therefore entitled to protection. However, according to Nur Akhira Syuhada Rasmi and Nur Syahida Asman, the majority of people think about their nationality or citizenship daily, granted that it is usually an automatic citizenship provided from the day they were born.
One of the theories of law that we took is the realist view. Realist view is it is believed that new interpretation of the existing laws shall be given to the judges, where the judges are tasked with a statutory interpretation to ascertain the intention of the legislature. So, in applying the relevant laws to our issue, as we all know, the legislature proposed to amend Article 15, Paragraph A of the Federal Constitution with the intention of maintaining and protecting the rule of law in a society, and as well as preventing bureaucratic delays. However, this might not be fixing the problems arising specifically in the sectors of Malaysia, because they are having difficulties in seeking citizenship. It is also contradicting to the fact that they are struggling mentally, physically, or even emotionally. For instance, Sri Mulyani, known as a Malaysian-born woman of Indonesian descent, who encountered challenges while trying to obtain Malaysian citizenship, and also she claimed that she spent most of her time in seeking citizenship. All in all, the proposed amendment of Article 15, Paragraph A of the Federal Constitution may not be fixing the reality of problems in stateless children in Malaysia.
Can you describe your journey as a mother whose child is not able to acquire citizenship in our country, which is Malaysia, and how did you first become aware of this issue?
When I separated with my husband, he cut all the contact with us because he said he doesn't want a child. Then I returned back to Malaysia, and then after that I realized cannot get Malaysia citizenship to my daughter because until now still pending on her applications, and the China embassy give me a warning like that. Say that do not register her IC in China or any province in China, so they got the rights to pull back the China passport.
Can I know what are the efforts made to acquire citizenship for your child, and what are the challenges that you have faced during this process?
The main challenges is we have to keep visiting to JPN and KDN department. I'm visiting for like 7 years, up to 8 years already. So I started to apply her application in JPN is on February of 2017. And then my document only bring forward to KDN is on April 2018. So it's like drag of 1 year, then I have to keep continuous follow up her case. Everything went to Putrajaya because I called them, nobody answered the call. Then we have to went there to make appointment and then to see our application, how it's going, follow up, everything.
Can you share with us your experience in advocating to get individual citizenship rights, and was there a specific instance where your advocacy directly impact the risk of being stateless? And did you work with other NGOs or government agencies to advocate this issue?
Yeah, I think the first thing I guess is to clarify that while our work also touches on statelessness, our primary work focuses on equal citizenship rights for children born overseas to Malaysian mothers who are at risk of statelessness. And I think where the why our issue had been bundled with the regressive amendments, which would worsen the issue of statelessness, was because it is concerning citizenship, and it was also something that the government just decided to bundle together.
What are the downsides of the proposed amendments and what should be done instead? And how do you believe these amendments could be improved to better address the root causes of statelessness?
Yeah. So I think that the downsides, I mean, there is one progressive amendment, which is the Mothers Amendment, and in our opinion, and also the that it should be carried on, but ensure that it is retroactive, as Alicia mentioned earlier, that ensure that it applies to all mothers. And that was actually not what was promised by the government, actually, because last year they did release a statement saying that they will agree to table the amendment and they will ensure that it is retroactive, but unfortunately that promise was not delivered. And that amendment should go on separately because that has been thoroughly studied. They actually set up a technical committee to study the amendment, and that should go ahead, and to halt the other amendments and review it further.
Are there any advocacy organizations or supportive networks that you have engaged with in addressing the stateless issue or to assist you to obtain your citizenship? So, in retrospect, what specific improvements would you envision within governmental frameworks to streamline an efficient process for more individuals struggling with stateless related issues?
I would say like we have to have a very clear framework of what you should have and what shouldn't have, and when you don't have something, what you should do. And also when about the like the previous one I said, when we try to apply my mom's passport when I passport there or somewhere there and citizenship also, it failed. Not once, twice, multiple times for 15 years. It failed. It failed every single time. We have all the copies letters and all that. It failed every time. Gaga. So this was keep on happening for a very long time until the 15th year. This is when things get sorted out a bit. But I don't know why it's gagal also. So Taiwan also a thing. So I would say like the process should be faster. The process of getting a citizenship to IC was very fast. It should be fast anyhow because when you angkat sumpah already, you should have an IC holder. Because when you angkat sumpah, you cannot be without an IC already. So that was okay, too fast. But the one that took us 15 years to get, it could be more clear.
Yeah, we are done with 4 questions. Now I will shoot the final question, which is also the most meaningful one, I would say. So, what messages would you like to convey to everyone in Malaysia regarding the experiences you have lived when you were stateless? And are there any misconceptions or overlooked aspects that you believe will warrant greater awareness or understanding towards this issue?
They should have a look at the number of affected people around that merely suffering suffering for merely education, like what you mentioned, education one, health wise. And these people have aspirations, they have goals, they have ambitions. Some of them wants to become the next, sitting in the political part. They have aspirations, but they do not have the access to. And not everyone end up like what I end up with. Some still suffers. 27 years old, 29 years old, 30 years old. But when you put yourself and then you think you can know like the amount of suffering, the amount of pain they go through is a lot. I would say a lot. Because they are in a state where right now, am I Malaysian or am I not Malaysian? But I'm born here. Like they did not ask to be born here. But if you're born here, I feel like they should be given something because you are practically a Malaysian baby.